Here I'm going to take a look at a speed distance time graph and how we can read some information from that. Now along our x-axis we've got the time, and that's been done in a scale of 2 boxes to an hour, or 1 box representing half an hour. It's been written in 24-hour time, so starting at 0900 and going up to 1700, which will be 5 p.m. Going up the y-axis, we've got the distance in kilometres, and this represents the distance from the starting point of the journey at 0, and in this example we're returning to the starting point at the end. Here we've got a scale of 1 box is 20 kilometres. So what we can do, we can look at this graph representing the journey and use it to work out how far away the vehicle was at any given time in the day, but also to work out the speed for certain periods of the day. So it starts off, the vehicle leaves its starting point at 9 o'clock in the morning, 0900, and by 10 o'clock, we can see at 10 o'clock the distance is 20 kilometres away. So we've travelled at a speed of 20 kilometres per hour, represented by the line there, to get there at 10 o'clock. But then at 10 o'clock the line gets steeper. What that means is we're going up in distance faster as we go across in time, so we're actually speeding up, and going from 10 o'clock to 11:30, you can actually see we've gone up from 20 to 140. So to work out the speed during that time, we could say that the speed is going to be, oh, I'm off the top there, not quite. Speed is going to be distance over time. Now the distance we've travelled between 10 o'clock and 11:30 is 140 minus 20, so that's going to be 120. The time is 1 hour and a half, so it's divided by 1.5. That gives us a speed of 80 kilometres per hour, and that's just going from this time here. Sorry, going the other way, going from 10 o'clock until 11:30. Now at 11:30, we can see that the graph flattens out and it just goes horizontally until 12 o'clock. What that means is if we read the distance at 11:30 and the distance at 12 o'clock, it's going to give us the same reading of 140. So the vehicle hasn't got any nearer or further to the starting point in that time. So the vehicle must have been at rest. The driver could have stopped to get a coffee or directions or whatever. But then again, the vehicle starts at 12 o'clock, and between 12 and 1300, we can see it's 1 hour in time, but we've gone up by 40 kilometres, so the speed must just be 40 kilometres per hour. Now if we were to look at the entire period between 9 and 1, we can see that 4 hours have elapsed and we've covered 180 kilometres in total. So we could say that the average speed between 9 o'clock in the morning and 1 in the afternoon would be equal to 180 over 4, because that's the distance over the time in hours. So the average speed for the entire morning and the start of afternoon up to 1 o'clock, average speed is 45 kilometres per hour. Now once again at that point at 1, it seems like we've stopped until 2 o'clock, 1400 hours. But then the graph continues going in the other direction, going down the way, which suggests we're going back. We've turned around and we're heading back to the place we started. We can see between 1400 and 1600, we went from being 180 kilometres away to being just 20 kilometres away. So again, we've got our speed in that time is going to be 160, just the 180 minus the 20, divided by 2 because it was over 2 hours. So the speed there is 80 kilometers per hour. And then finally, the last 20 kilometers is covered an hour between 1600 1700, so 4 and 5 in the afternoon, and that's just an hour 20 kilometers, just going to be 20 kilometers per hour. What's worth noting is that the last two speeds, the one we worked out there, the 80 kilometers per hour and that 20 kilometers per hour, they're going in the opposite direction of the original one. So that's why if we change direction, we're not going to try and get an average speed between, for example, this time and this time, because we'd end up with a result of 0 because we've gone in one direction then back in the other. But apart from that, if we're going in the one direction, we can take any two times and work out the average speed between them by working out the distance we've travelled and dividing it by the time.